This segment is sponsored by Our Home Magazine.
From supporting local artists to the right way to hang and frame artwork, you'll find tips for collecting art in the latest issue of Our Home Magazine. Joining us now is Julia Monroe. She is the co-director of the Reynolds Gallery. Good to see you, Julia. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, so we're probably going to run through this. You'll do what you're supposed to do. I'll be the person who knows nothing and probably does the wrong thing. So, and I'm sure you run into that a little bit, but let's start with, we're going to do some tips on collecting art. So what is step one?
Step one for collecting art is really to trust your instincts and to start simply by looking, by visiting galleries, by going to openings, by visiting museums, and noticing trends in what you're drawn to and in what moves you. And over time, once you begin to notice your own patterns, you'll start to feel more confidence in choices that you want to make and eventually start to realize how you want to build your own collection.
You know, I'll use some guy analogies that I would do. It's like I always tell friends of mine, or I told my sons, don't buy a car that you don't really like a lot or love even, because you got to live with it for a long time. And I'm guessing the same thing goes for art.
Exactly. If you buy art because you truly love it and not because it matches your sofa or your curtains or because it's something that your friends have, if you buy it because you love it, then across decades, across different houses, across different decorating trends, you're going to continue to love it, and it will work with every, different direction you take your house.
Okay, so, we've just been through a pandemic, and buy local is a big theme everywhere. Does that apply in art as well?
I think so, and I think that is a great tip. Not only because it supports your local art economy and it supports local artists who are living here in Richmond, but also because if you jump in and try to go to the tip top of the art market in New York and LA and London, you might price yourself out. But here in Richmond, there are amazing artists who are making really great work, who have prices that are more affordable and more in line with beginning a collection.
Yeah, and if you're buying local, you're supporting a local artist. And again, buy something you love, and you'll find it locally, and that gets you off to a great start.
Exactly.
Original, limited edition prints, things like that. Where do you guide us on that?
Well, I think prints are also a great way to get into the art market without having to necessarily pay the price for original artworks or oils on canvas. You can buy prints from some of the top artists like Ellsworth Kelly and Tara Donovan for the same price as maybe somebody who's local, who's making original art. So it's a way to sort of reach for some of the top artists, but be able to include them in your collection without breaking the bank.
What if you're looking around, Julia, and you see something and you've already got one or two pieces that you love, and you say, well, this doesn't match those at all, or it won't go with those. Where are you going to point us in what direction on that?
I think that juxtapositions are actually a really strong point in collections. And looking for diversity in a collection is a great way of rounding out your own perspective, whether that's diversity in the different types of artists or in the materials that they're using. But art kind of plays well off of similarities and differenents.
Okay.
In each other.
So, all right, I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I am. So if you're collecting things, I'm going to do a Clint Eastwood movie reference talking to Julia about art. In the Gran Torino movie, he takes a kid to his tool shed, and it is covered. The walls are covered with tools, and the kid said, how did you ever get this many tools? And he says, it's a lifetime. You build it a little at a time. And the same is true in art, isn't it?
I think it's absolutely true. I think that if you buy art over the course of years, then all of a sudden, when you look back, you realize that your collection really tells a story of who you are and where you've been. My husband and I, when we first got married, decided to buy one piece a year, which we've stuck with, and we've been married 10 years now. And we have, some great pieces. And some years we stretched and bought bigger pieces, and some years it was just a little tiny watercolor on paper. But over the years, it's begun to tell a story of our point of view together. So it's a wonderful way to approach art, is to think about it over time.
Julia, we appreciate your time, and we learned so much already today. We're going to put folks in touch with you in Our Home magazine. Thanks again.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, folks, Reynolds Gallery has 2 locations in the Fan at 1514 West Main Street, another location near Libby and Grove at 401 Libby Avenue, Suite 3. For more information, visit online at reynoldsgallery.com. And you can read more about all of this in the latest issue of Our Home magazine. Find it on newsstands today or subscribe at richmondmagazine.com/home. You'll find them on Facebook at Our Home Magazine and on Instagram at Our Home Mag. And there's more Virginia This Morning right after this.